The Spartans always talk about dining in hell. Me, I'm more of a sizzler kind of girl, but, who has time to eat? We've beaten God of War 2 into next month, and I'll show you how we did it on cheat. It starts right now. Cheat, the video game show with more dirty tricks than a Las Vegas motel. I'm Kristin Holt, and we're going Greek with God of War 2. When we last saw Kratos, he had just whacked Ares and taken his place on Mount Olympus. His hometown buddies, the Spartans, are rampaging through ancient Greece, and we join the story in progress. So what exactly does one do after becoming a god? Well, in God of War 2 for the PS2, we find out that Kratos isn't exactly making any new friends up on Mount Olympus.
I owe you nothing.
Then you leave me no choice.
The gods still refuse to help Kratos with that huge chip on his shoulder, so he decides to shun his fellow deities and take solace in the people of Sparta.
I am what the gods have made me.
With the god of war at their side, the Spartans spread across Greece, destroying cities and angering the other gods. Kratos must have a really short memory. Anybody else remember what happened the last time he pissed those guys off? Because of his insolence, the gods conspire against Kratos and decide to take him down. After Athena makes Kratos a little less colossal, you can take him through roads, disemboweling soldiers as you see fit. He's the same old Kratos we know and love, but with a few additions. While holding down the L1 button to block, you can unleash hell with a tap of the square, triangle, or circle buttons. All three special moves are fast, furious, and effective. Just don't get too used to them. Our adventure will soon find Kratos facing off against a giant golden statue. Watch for Zeus to drop the Sword of Olympus from the heavens and tell Kratos it can take down the beast.
I offer you the Blade of Olympus.
However, in order for the sword to become fully effective, Kratos has to channel all of his power into it. Anyone else think this sounds like a bad idea? Battered, beaten, and without any of his power, Kratos is finally snuffed out by the king of the gods himself. A fitting end to a great hero.
Everything you have ever known, Kratos, will now suffer because of your sacrilege.
Wait a minute, that can't be the end. I just started this game. On the way down to Hades, Kratos finally meets the woman behind the voice that's been guiding us through his adventures all this time. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Gaia.
I am the Titan Gaia, ever-present Mother of Earth.
We learn about the origin of the gods and how they were all children of the great Titan Cronus. After hearing a prophecy that one of his offspring would bring forth his demise, Cronus decides to eat all of his children to prevent their uprising. The trouble all started when his wife Rhea sent her son Zeus to a remote island where he was cared for by the Titans. Once he was fully grown, he took vengeance on the Titans and killed them all, freeing his brothers and sisters from Cronus' belly. Thus began the reign of the gods. Because of this betrayal, Gaia, along with her fellow Titans, decide to help Kratos get back his power and return to the point in time where Zeus betrayed him. In order to do this, you must find the Sisters of Fate who are hiding out somewhere on the island of creation. The ancient war between the Titans and the gods is about to reach its climax, and you will act as the catalyst. The gods will rue the day they betrayed you, and the time of Zeus's reign will soon come to an end. Sound like fun? Oh, just you wait. If stomping and slashing your way through the countryside gets you amped, you're gonna love the boss fights in God of War 2. The citizens of Rhodes and other lawful city-states are tough customers. But get a load of the barbarian boss. This dude is, as they say in the big city, strapped. They say a man never truly escapes his past, but Kratos seems to have more flashbacks than wavy gravy on a hot summer day. So how does a disgraced God of War face his memories? Why, by mercilessly slaughtering them, of course. When you leave the Temple of Laxessus and head into the Bog of the Forgotten, you're welcomed by a familiar face. The great barbarian warrior that fought against Kratos in his more pigmented years and acted as a catalyst to his impending fate has been resurrected as a giant zombie abomination.
Kratos.
After a cordial hello, how are you, Kratos will grab onto the back of the barbarian steed with his blades and proceed to be dragged through the swamp. Watch the button prompts to minimize your damage and gain some red and blue orbs before you get to the real fight. This guy is well and truly ticked, and I would be too if I had to crawl out of hell and lost a few facial features along the way. Since this personal vendetta is no picnic, we'll give you a few strategies on how to take down this burly bastard.
I will have your head.
The barbarian starts out on his demon steed, which gives him a height advantage as well as increased speed. If you're far enough away, he'll shoot arrow after arrow at you. Return his fire with Typhon's Bane. Try to stay close and keep beating that dead horse. After you send Black Beauty to the glue factory, the barbarian will start resurrecting some zombies to aid in his conquest. Any of them look familiar?
No! Not you again!
Take these guys out first, as their slaughter will give you blue orbs to recharge your magic meter. Keep an eye on Scruffy and watch when he slams his hammer into the ground. At this point, this is his only range attack, and it'll knock you to the ground instantly, so roll away if you have the chance. After this big dude takes some damage, he'll suck up all the damned souls surrounding him and almost triple in size. This doubles his power and range, so fight conservatively. The best way to go after Mr. Tall, Dark, and Hairy is to run up on him, throw a few light attacks his way, then roll off to safety before he can lift that massive mallet over his head. Once you take the air out of his tires and shrink him back down to size, Curly will go back to the same moves he used before, with the addition of a powerful spin move. Watch for when he sucks in all the floating spirits and sends them in your direction. They'll follow your movements, so roll away just before they make contact. Once the circle icon appears over his curly mop, go through the button prompts and turn that barbarian skull into a fine goulash for the crows to feast on. The fruits of your labor will take the form of a new weapon, the Barbarian's Hammer. This hulking mallet deals massive damage and can be switched out on the fly with the R2 button. However, when fighting with your new toy, you won't be able to block or roll away from your enemies, so use it sparingly and carefully. Now leave us alone. Kratos and I have some demons to tenderize. Whoa, hammer time for the Barbarian boss man. Bummer for him. But good news for you, there's lots more to come in Cheat's God of War 2 special right after the break. But first, check out this quick cheat for Typhon's Lair. Wandering around Typhon's frozen lair, you'll reach a platform after dodging his icy halitosis and fending off a bevy of rabid harpies. At the back of this platform, you'll find a path. Follow it towards the camera to a room with a curious pyre and 4 enemies. Fighting these guys the conventional way will only mean more enemies. Instead, toast them like marshmallows by throwing them onto the fire. The 4th body will warm the room so much that the surrounding chests will melt and offer up their plentiful booty.
This program is brought to you by Crosswalk. This summer, you better look before you cross. From Gameavision.
Hey dude, did you know that every day we dump 356,000 cell phones into landfills? That's no good. We can't keep doing that.
Dude, come on.
It's for you, man.
Hello? Ow. Ouch. Later, dude. Ow. Ouch. Ow. Ouch. Ow.
Welcome back to Cheat, where we're bringing the pain to the roughest levels and toughest bosses in God of War 2. You might have the hack and slash down cold, but how about those puzzles? They may drive you nuts, but they do unlock some of the coolest assets in the game. Just watch. The Chamber of the Phoenix happens to be one of the most frustrating sequences in the game, but it starts out simple enough. Pull the lever to retract the spikes and bash in the wall in the back corner, exposing some chests and a statue. After you've collected your goodies, pull the lever again and halt time. Mosey over to the dead guy and pull out the gem, then hightail it back to the center. Now here's where it gets a little more complicated. Pull the lever, stop time, and start turning the crank. This will move time back to the present, but just keep on pushing until you hear the ticking accelerate. When you notice that the gate in the background is most of the way up, let go and immediately stop time. Run to the right and catapult yourself under the gate. Soon, you find yourself in a room that will have you madly screaming obscenities at your television. Ignore the health and magic chest at the entrance and grab onto the statue to the left of the door. Make friends with the lady. You'll be holding on to her for dear life in a moment. Enter the room with the statue in front of you and propel it forward with a powered-up kick. This is where the fire and brimstone will kick in. Stay directly behind the statue to be sheltered from the encroaching flames. Use the leveled-up destructive Atlas Quake to clear enemies away in a hurry. Make sure to use the spare moments of their absence to the utmost advantage as enemies continuously respawn. Continue pushing the statue forward and make sure to catch it on a corner of each step as the waves of fire will push the statue backwards. When you've made it to the lever, it's a good idea to head back to the entrance and stock up on health and magic. Thankfully, the enemies won't follow you out. Pulling the lever will clear a path for the final section of the room. Here, a whole bunch of new enemies crash the party for extra fun. Push the statue to the front end of one of the buttons and activate magic to clear out enemies. This will give you some breathing room to hop on the other button between bursts of flame. Wait for the gate to be fully raised to swing on over and roll through. Push the urn off the button to lower the platform, then drag it over to the indentation in the ground. Dispatch the enemies that reanimate when you head toward the switch. Now for the fun. Pull the lever to dip the ashes in the lava and liberate the phoenix from its ceramic prison. You've just given life to a fiery phoenix. We'll brave the lair of the Kraken when Cheat returns after the break. But right now, here's a quick cheat to help you snag the Urn of Olympus. Just before the crossroads, you'll be teased by a room chock full of goodies isolated by a pressure-sensitive gate. To access this cache, continue up the path. Grab the Spear of Destiny out of the rotting bird carcass and dispatch the baddies. Pull the statue onto the turntable, turn it 90 degrees counterclockwise, and drag it back down the path. Jump over the ditch, stop time, swing over the next body of water, and mosey straight up to the room. Here you can find a feather, a gorgon eye, and the Urn of Olympus, which will grant you infinite magic in bonus play.
Hop.
Welcome back to Cheat's God of War 2 special. The next monster you face is a mythical sea creature. Yup, you guessed it. It's time to get Kraken. In God of War 2, there's certainly no rest for the weary. Conquering a sprawling dungeon to free the long dormant remains of a mythical raptor rewards you only with the dubious prize of fighting the Kraken, a giant calamari beast. Let's just call her a girl for argument's sake. It's always tricky to guess cephalopod gender. The beginning of this fight is as easy as pie. Kratos will refuse to do battle, so all you have to do is trudge around and curse the gods.
I grow tired of the lies of the gods!
After witnessing the sacking of Kratos' beloved Sparta and being hit on by his dead wife with a creepy Titan voice,
Take within you this fire that burned your beloved Sparta.
the spirit of the fight will flood back to Kratos and you'll once again be in full control of all his deadly faculties. Activate Rage of the Titans to escape the Kraken's oily grip. Pick up your fallen friend and make your way over to the left pillar. Hack away at the Kraken's tentacle until it lifts. Now pay tribute to your fallen devoted disciple by using his body as a paperweight. Depressing the button will open the center grate and activate a pillar of steam for you to fly on. Sail gracefully toward the Kraken's head and give her a few clocks on the noggin. Repeat these tactics and try to avoid her crafty tentacle tapping and river of puke attacks until she slams the limb into the steam grate in frustration. Scale the arm, activate the Rage of the Gods, and whack at the tentacle joint until it explodes, activating a button push prompt. Press the button with apt timing and you'll sever the tentacle. Repeat the same strategy for the second rogue tentacle. You'll have to mosey back over to the floor switch and get the Kraken to lift its limbs one more time. Once she slams her arm above you, run towards the back wall and jump to grab on. Destroy the joint and sever the tentacle one more time to really piss the suction cups off the Kraken. Now she'll grow wise to your schemes and snack on your friend like he's a pile of tasty bar peanuts. She'll go wild and start flailing and slapping at you. Head to a side and use Atlas Quake to do great damage. Hit her enough and she'll be knocked off part of the platform. Hightail it to the other column and hit her remaining arm as many times as you can. Injure her enough and she'll slump even lower. Take this opportunity to pull the lever in the center for a very satisfying squish. All that's left to do is step over your aquatic foe's corpse and wrangle your fiery steed. Man, you're gonna need a lot of marinara sauce to finish off that bad boy. Don't go away, Kratos goes toe-to-toe with Zeus himself when Cheat returns. But first, what's a Grecian Urn? Oh, about $8.25 an hour. While you're traipsing around old Atlas's innards, you might as well take a small detour to get one of God of War 2's well-hidden urns. At a certain point in this level, you'll find yourself clinging to a craggy ceiling suspended above a deep chasm of nothingness. Destroy the first stalactite you see to access a portal to a hidden room. Hoist yourself in and open the chests. You'll have yourself the Urn of Prometheus. Turning on the urn in bonus play grants you unlimited Rage of the Titans.
Viewers agree. Attack of the Show is the source for everything you care about.
We really do know what you want.
Attack of the Show, next on G4.
Welcome back to Cheat, where Kratos is kicking butt and taking names in God of War 2. You knew it was coming, and now it's time to throw down. The King of the Gods has had it up to his temples with the havoc that Kratos is wreaking on Earth, and if you thought your boss was tough, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Come too far to fail.
It all comes down to this. The bloody path you have raged through ancient Greece has led you back to the moment when Zeus betrayed you. With your second chance at fate, you finally have the tools to take on the King of the Gods and make him know what pain truly is.
Now I will show you the true power of a god.
In the Loom Chamber, pull the time thread in the center of the room until the mirror shows you your last moment with Zeus from the beginning of the game. Stop time and rush back to the mirror before the sands run out to trigger your final battle high above the clouds. When you first face Zeus, he's way too big for you to take on yourself. Focus on the sirens surrounding you because their screeches of death will damage Zeus and give you some green and blue orbs. We've found that using your maxed out earthquake magic will bring the sirens close to death quickly. Just keep an eye on Zeus's hands. His lightning strikes and ground punches will knock you down, so keep a finger on that right analog stick and dodge whenever you can. Once you cut him back down to size, Zeus will come after you and the Blade of Olympus. Even at this size, he's strong and very fast, so hop in for a few quick hits, then roll away. After Zeus takes some damage, he'll have the chance to steal the blade back. Just like before, hit him quickly and roll away to avoid taking damage. When Zeus has had enough and has the big red circle over his head, grab him and follow the button prompts to stab him and throw him against the pillars on the side. Rush over while he's still down and topple the stone structure to crush him like a cockroach. You thought that was easy? Zeus will get right back up for another shot at the Ghost of Sparta, but it's the same fight as before, so use the same tactics I just explained. Weren't you listening?
I told you I would make you pay for what you did.
Finally, Kratos will tire of this never-ending battle and submit to the will of the gods.
Release me from this torment of my life.
Wait a minute, Kratos? Submit? Ah, that's more like it. Keep your fingers twitching on those buttons and follow the prompts to trick Zeus and attack when his guard is down. But before you can make your final blow, someone interrupts your slaughter party.
No, Kratos! Stop!
No son should destroy his own father.
You gotta love those Luke, I am your father moments.
I have no father.
So Zeus is really your father. He got away and you killed your only ally on Mount Olympus. Now what?
Remember, Kratos, you have the power to control time itself.
Well, I won't ruin the ending for you, but let's just say it sets Kratos up for a brutal, bloody, and brilliant future. Keep it up, Jaffe.
We have been expecting you, Ghost of Sparta.
Ah, yes, the old don't forget you can travel through time gag. I wish I had a nickel for every time I heard that one. In other news, who wouldn't love to battle Olympians in a fish costume? Okay, I bet a lot of you wouldn't, but here's how, just in case. Following the Cow of War tradition set from the first game, God of War 2 has a collection of unlockable costumes available for bonus play. Beat the game on any difficulty level and you'll unlock the Hydra armor and the God of War costumes. Both outfits protect Kratos from incoming damage, but the fishy fashion faux pas will also fortify your magic usage. If you beat the game on God mode, you unlock Dark Odyssey, a stronger Kratos in black and gold with creepy blank zombie eyes. Not only are his attacks more powerful, but his Rage of the Titans meter fills up faster. That's it for today. If you missed any of these tips, visit us on the web at g4tv.com/cheat. You can also write to us at cheat@g4tv.com. Until next time, I'm Kristin Holt, and you've been cheating.